Ready?
We're so ready. Did we just start the podcast with we're so ready? Guys, guess who's ready today? Welcome back to Jillin Off with your Jillers, Christina Walkinshaw, and with me as always,
Jen Murphy.
what does this sound like?
This is a special IPA today that was sent to me via UPS mail by George Gonzalez. Thank you so much. It's from
Cheers.
Sacramento. He says it's one of his favorites. Mine's gummy worms, chewy pale ale. That sounds weird, except that I love gummy worms.
Oh my God, this is delicious.
What is yours? Yours is Revision. Yours looks like a psychedelic trip. That's
Oh my
why
God.
I gave it to you.
This is 8.5%.
Oh, really? I was looking for the percentage and I couldn't find it on
here.
mine.
Oh, I'm the ninja. I'll get it.
I'm the ninja.
Oh, yours is 5.8%. That's
Ah.
good. If you want to change like halfway through, that way maybe we can balance out our percentage
All
to
right.
like 6.7.
Let's do it.
Right. That's so smart.
Probably a good idea.
How about I read George's comment on your Facebook, and he sounded like he was trying to say, "Oh, these beers aren't for Christina, Jen. You can just have them all to yourself."
No, I think he was making a funny.
Oh, George, you're so funny. As I drink all the beer.
I think he was trying to say, I sent these for you, but if you want to share.
Yeah, no, I think he said you don't have to share. That was his terminology.
Well, Christina, I'm sharing because I love you.
Well, yeah, I love you too. Cheers.
I'm going to be totally distracted by your shoulder today.
Guys, I am, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm pretty cooged up today. But so I have to go to Kourtney's birthday party afterwards, which I hope you join. And she wanted everybody to dress like a schoolgirl. And I, of course, don't have any schoolgirl uniforms. Like, I purged all those when I decided I wasn't going to do sketch comedy ever again in my life. Do you know what I mean? I was like, that's when you purge your things that you might use.
Is she trying to attract older men? She wants a
Maybe.
bunch of girls to show up at a bar dressed like
Yeah.
Catholic school. I didn't even get the memo, but I think I am dressed like a high school or something.
I actually feel like you look like more like
I'm going to fit right in.
I feel like that's perfect, actually.
You're like, I don't even have to give Jen that memo.
Oh, I should have. Now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I could have worn like a jean skirt. And yeah, I could have. And instead, I just went the opposite, full-blown coog.
That's all right. I think you made the right decision.
But guys, this is from Latote, and I'm going to send it back soon. So, and I only wore this like one day.
It looks good.
Nobody saw it. Off the shoulders, right?
I think
Bam.
you should wear it for the next 3 days straight.
Should I?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not,
You
right?
have a lot of dates coming up.
I do. I'm supposed to have 2 dates, but I feel like I have to cancel a date tomorrow. Because I have to go, oh, can we please talk about my date last week?
Let's talk about your date last week.
Okay. Oh, wow. This is when we were like, stop the presses. We need to have a podcast right now. I know. Here it is 5 days later.
That's okay.
And my old lady brain is going to not be able to tell a story as per usual.
We had to give it time to ferment.
Oh, my
It's like
God.
a fine wine. The story just gets better.
Oh, no. I feel like when my stories ferment, I forget everything. Like,
Well, that 8.5 isn't going to help.
it's not going to help. Oh, my God.
Well, I'll be able to add some detail to the end of the night because I was still sober when I met you. But
That's right.
you're going to have to give the drunk details of the beginning of your night.
So I was having one of those, I won't say like low confidence days, but definitely one of those days where I'm like, do I feel like doing stand up? Like sometimes I don't feel like doing it. And I was booked at the Ice House,
So
And
you
then-
thought.
or so I thought. And then I don't know, there was something inside of me. I'd matched with this guy on Hinge, and we'd been chatting, and he's like, "What are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "Oh, I have a show. I could probably meet you after." And then I was like, I don't know why, my mood was like, oh, you know what? I don't feel like getting judged by a room full of strangers tonight. I'd rather just get judged by one stranger. Do you know what I mean? I was like, maybe just a date is easier than a set tonight. And then I go on the Ice House website, and I don't see my name. And I'm like, I wonder if somebody fucked up. And then I emailed Jan. I was like, are you sure I'm on the show tonight? But just before I, get in my car. And then he's like, oh, no, I messed up, and I'll put you next week or whatever. And then we got our spot together, which was awesome.
Fabulous.
And anyways, oh, yeah, so now this story is over a week old. Wow. Here comes my shitty storytelling skills already. I'm cutting myself
Doesn't
off.
matter.
Already cutting myself off, y'all.
Oh, man, I forgot the bell.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Trouble.
So anyways, I'm like, okay, so I can meet you. I can meet you earlier. And so we say we're going to meet like 7:30 at Ceremony in Studio City. I picked it. I'd never been there before, but I've driven by it, and I checked it out on Yelp. So I was like,
Trendy, cool-looking bar on Ventura
yeah,
Boulevard.
It's very cool.
Shout out Ceremony.
Very cool Ceremony.
Is it cool? I don't know. I just know it looks like trendy and
Yeah,
kind
it
of.
looks cool. It was pretty empty the night we went in there, actually, but Mm. So he warns me he's been drinking with his colleagues after work. He's a lawyer. If there's one thing I know about lawyers, if they can drink, they are drinkers. So
Not like comics.
no, I know. I'm like, oh my God, that's the only thing I like about lawyers is their alcoholism. I'm like, sweet, drinking buddy.
We only date people in professions that tend to be alcoholics.
Alcoholics, exactly. Oh my God. So he's like, oh, you should pour a glass of wine now and try to, catch up to me or whatever. So he shows up. And literally, I'm the only person in the bar. And he's like looking around, like, where is she? And like, I could see him texting me. I'm like, I'm the only person at the bar. Like, how could you miss me? Do you know what I mean?
He really was drunk.
He's like, I was like, hello. I'm over here. And he's like, oh. Like,
Oh
I'm like,
dear.
oh
Was
my
that a
God.
red flag to begin with?
I mean, it was a sign that I knew he was going to be drunk.
Or
I
that
was
he
like,
forgot his glasses?
I know. Oh my God. So then, and I feel like was this a problem on my last date too? It was definitely a problem on this date where I feel like the guy, I don't know if it's every guy, but I feel like these days guys kiss you so fast on the date. Like there's no, I would like the date to happen and then there be some suspense as to whether or not he's going to kiss me at the end of the night.
I don't know that happens a lot, but I will say in my experience, I think it's a red flag when it happens.
Like right away, just like, come on, let's get this over with.
Yeah, because this is what happened with somebody recently. And you can continue your story. I'll just say it really
I
quick.
want you to, it's good.
The last guy that happened to me with, I was so excited and all full of adrenaline because I'm like, he likes me.
Right.
And then he lost interest kind of fast. So I'm like, oh, that's one of those guys where it's like a high, like like if there's such adrenaline for a new girl and
Yeah.
it's like a drug. And then they're like, oh yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of a bad sign of like when they want to jump in that fast.
I think you're right.
Did
And
I explain that well?
I think you did. I think
I
that
feel like I didn't, but as long as you got what I was saying.
I do. I feel like if you're gonna be speedy with one thing, you're gonna be speedy about the whole thing.
Yeah, because
Like,
imagine your mindset if you walked in and all you could think was like, I just need a tongue in my mouth right now.
Oh my God.
Like this odd. You don't like if you said you're having a low confidence day, then maybe that would be like you just out there just like not caring. That's how I take it. Okay, this is what I mean. It's not personal. Like he doesn't really like me. He's just looking for a high.
Oh yeah. Well, I have to say, I feel like the date, even though it gets more tragic, it was good for my confidence. So this guy walks in, although he obviously already had beer goggles when he walked in.
No, it
But
is
he's
good
like,
for your
"Oh,
confidence for sure.
He's like, whatever. I don't know. He called me a babe or something. He called me something that's, a positive word for a woman's looks. I forget what it is. I don't even remember my compliments. I'm like, but I can feel them in my heart. I remember the feeling. Anyway, so of course, like Speedy Gonzalez right to the kissing, but he just wants probably Speedy Gonzalez to everything, right? He wanted to
Maybe.
like multiple times. Okay, so we went to ceremony. We had a drink there. Oh yeah, and he was buying shots of. He's like one of these drinkers that likes to have like a beer and a shot for every round. So mezcal, am I saying that right? Mezcal.
Tequila, right?
Yeah, like that smoky tequila. I
Yeah.
never had one before. So he buys me mezcal. I refuse to shoot it. I'm like, I'm gonna sip
I
it.
think that might be like the trendy tequila now, right? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So, but I will say I did like it. I was like, okay, this is good. So we do that, and then the bar is kind of empty. So let's go somewhere else. Although I really wanted to check out. I'd been on Yelp looking for gay bars for my friend Rob, who's coming to town for Pride, and I was like, I don't want to just send Rob to a bar before I can pick him up or whatever without knowing that it's going to be fun for him.
Yeah.
So I'd looked up gay bars in Studio City, and that Oil Can Harry's popped up. And I've driven by it, but it's close to our house. And I was like, okay, perfect. But I want to check. Like, that was the only thing I wanted to do on that Thursday was check out that bar to see if it's going to be okay. Sorry, I'm burping already. For, like, an okay place to send Rob while he waits for me to pick him up. And so this date is like, absolutely not. I'm not going to a gay bar. You'd have to blow me before I'd go to a gay bar.
Oh, 17 red flags at once.
I know. And I'm just like, oh my God, if it's blowjobs that you want, gay bars are totally for you. Like, that's the best place to get them. This guy's a tool. Oh my God.
You should have, at the end of the night, Been like, oh, and by the way, I'm really a man. After
would-
he
oh my
shoved
God,
his
that would've
tongue in
been
your mouth so many times?
That would have been the best. I should have done that. Yeah, because it came off very homophobic, so I was very turned off. I was just like, no, I'm like, well, I'm going to the gay bar. I don't care if you don't want to come with me, but I'm going into it. And then we stopped for sushi on the way there, but he was so drunk. You know these people that like, it was his idea to go to the sushi place. Then we get in. I'm like, oh my God, I pick out a roll. It was so delicious. I'm like, late night happy hour sushi
nice.
place on Ventura. We're going to have to go. Delicious. Anyways, and then he barely eats anything. He just like, again, gets like a pot of sake and just like drinks it. Even though it's his idea for food, he probably needed the food more than I did.
Yeah.
My last feeding was probably like 90 minutes ago.
Did you eat his food?
Well, we shared a roll and some edamame, but he barely ate any of it. He just drank the sake.
Christina's like, more for me.
I was like, I don't care.
I would have wrapped that shit up to go.
Yeah.
You're not going to eat? I'll take it home.
Yeah. So then we went to Jalapeno Pete's for like one round. But again, he wanted like that shot of mezcal again. I was like, holy shit, this guy is just like putting him back. And then I do get him into Oil Can Harry's, but it wasn't what I thought inside. Like it was definitely like older European people dancing, like salsa dancing. It was actually very charming. It was like, oh, this is cute, but it didn't
It's
feel
definitely
like a
not
gay
what
bar.
you think, no.
It's not what it used to be, I guess. So good, right? Because otherwise it was good. That was the chore I wanted to get. And then at this point, this guy's so drunk and we're, but I can tell he doesn't want to go home. And he's like, how would you feel about waking up in Encino tomorrow morning?
No! Ew!
And then it was like an improv game. He's like, oh, what do you feel about AMs in Encino? And Encino's lovely in the morning. You should check out Encino at 6 a.m. It's so beautiful. It was just him. Like, it was like an improv game where it's like, no, change what you're trying to say. Say it a different way. Say it a different way.
You know,
say it a different way.
Encino's known for its pancakes. So wait,
Everybody
but
loves a slumber party in Encino.
when you were like at the restaurant or at the bar, was he cool or was he one of those people where it's kind of embarrassing that you're with him because he's so drunk? Like, did he try and make corny jokes to the waitress or something like that? You know what I mean? Where it's embarrassing and you're like,
I feel like it was kind of getting embarrassing, or I felt like,
where you kind of want to be like, this isn't my boyfriend.
yeah, totally. Like there was definitely like a couple, like some women beside me, and I feel like people can smell a drunk. Do you know what I mean? Like literally. I'm like, yeah, literally. They're like, wow, somebody's drunk out of those two people, and yeah. So it was definitely a little tight in that sushi restaurant too, where I was like, oh no, and I felt like I was being really polite to the sushi maker, and he was being a little more demanding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, calm down. So then, yeah, I'm like, oh, well, we could go to Residuals. And my friend lives really close by. And then he was texting his friends too. Like he'd been texting like his coworkers on the date, and it was fun. And at one point I was texting from his phone. I was like, this is Christina. And I was writing them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they must have known how drunk he was, but
Yeah. They're
anyways.
probably used to it. It probably happens every night.
Probably does. Oh yeah, because at one point he was like, "Oh, when's the last time you got laid?" And I was like, "Oh, like in April, like I guess a couple months ago." And then before that, like December. He's like, "What? December?" It was like almost like he didn't even hear the April. He'd only heard December. So he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "How about you?" He's like, 3 days ago. I was like, "Of course. Like you just fucking go after it. It's like it's a fucking bowl of M&Ms. Like let me, you know, like." So, anyways, so then we go to Residuals, and his friend comes, and oh, by the way, he's such a pain in the ass about walking anywhere. Like the distance between the first bar and the second bar was nothing, and he was a smoker. I was like, well, you can get a cigarette in the time we walk to the next bar. You should enjoy the walk. But he's like, oh, I can't walk anywhere. I'm like, why can't people in LA walk when it's the only city in the world? It's fucking so warm. You could walk every day of the year.
Have you ever tried to walk after 12 shots?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'm going to have to side with him on this one. Christina's like, let's take a stroll. He's like, I have a bottle of tequila in my body.
You're totally right.
So wait, at any point that when he shoved his tongue in your mouth, was it just total cigarette? Or did he have the courtesy to put a bunch of mints in his mouth?
No, it was smoky.
Not that helps.
It was smoky boozy. Is that?
Smoky sake.
Smoky sake. Such a variety. How does this guy not throw up at the end of our date?
Oh,
What? So then we get to residuals.
If you had gone to Encino, you would have found
Oh
out.
my God, how would you feel about waking up in Encino?
In a
Like, not
pile of
into it.
puke.
I know. Seems like not into it.
How do you feel about cleaning up my puke in the morning?
Mhm. I told him I wasn't going home with them. Like at the beginning, like in the first bar, I was like, oh no, I'm not. Like I got shit to do tomorrow, and I don't want to wake up in anybody else's house.
So when you got to residuals and I came and saw you, he
Yeah.
wasn't there yet.
What do you mean?
When I've met you at residuals, he
Yeah.
was still in an Uber. Right?
Oh, that's right.
Because you told me, you're like, I'm on the way to residuals, come. And I was so close because I was at the dojo.
Right.
So I hopped in an Uber really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
And when
So-
I got there, you were like, Christina goes, I walked here, but my date got in an Uber.
He did. He got in an Uber. I was like, I'm walking. I was like, he had to wait like 12 minutes for this
I
Uber.
said, that's
I was
not
like,
a good sign of a
we're
date.
literally 4-minute walk away from this bar, like 4 minutes. But he's like, no, I'm going to take an Uber. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll meet you there. And at that point, I don't even care if he shows up or not. But he does. And then, yeah, we get there. And then again, he was heavy on the kissing and the petting. And I just remember you looking at me going, you got to get off this date.
I was waiting for you to give me the like 911 eyes, like, help me. But I couldn't tell because when he stuck his tongue in your mouth, you kind of accepted it. So so I come into residuals and Christina's by herself. And I go, oh, Christina. And she's like, my date's on the way. He took an Uber. And then we see this other guy come in and sort of linger around us, staring at us.
Right.
And then you were like, I think that's his friend. So
And he was so mean about the friend. Remember?
this friend was so nice.
friend was so
This
nice.
friend came from Tarzana.
Yeah.
To meet his drunk friend because I don't know why. Oh, probably because his drunk. So this guy comes. He's super nice.
Yeah, he was very
Then
sweet.
your drunk date comes in and is like, and he's like texting some woman he works with who's married, but he keeps texting her and he keeps telling us how like cool she is and she's beautiful. And I was like, dude, not cool. You're on a date. Then he comes over to me. He just met me, and he comes up to. Well, first he shoves his tongue in Christina's mouth. Another time. Honestly, though, you didn't look totally dissatisfied, so I was a little confused. But I also know that you're a really nice person, and like you
I
know.
am really nice. I'm like, I know. I should be more like, maybe don't put your tongue down my throat. But it's instead of the back of my brain, I'm like, oh, well, I don't care what he does. I'm
But
not going home with him.
You're also drunk, so
At this point, I'm drunk too.
so if you were so anyway. After just meeting him, he comes up and gets in my face, and he's like, "What do you think of my friend?" I'm like, "Oh, he looks very nice." He goes, so would you fuck him? You want to fuck him? And I'm like, "Dude, not cool." Like that, his friend was right there, and I'm like, "Did you just think you were gonna walk in, and Christina was gonna bring a friend who's gonna go fuck your like?" That's just so disgusting.
So gross.
That was when I was like, "Okay, I'm getting Christina out of here, whether she likes it or not."
Yeah.
And also sometimes because I'm like you and try and be super nice, sometimes I really get off when I find the opportunity where I can be a bitch and feel good about it.
Yeah.
So then he shoved his tongue in her mouth one more time, started talking about the girl, that other woman he's texting with his boss. And
Right.
finally I'm like, you know what? You're fucking rude. We're leaving. And then I just turned to his friend. I was like, I'm so sorry. Because his friend was really nice. I go,
Yeah.
you're very nice. I'm really sorry, but we got to go. And then I just grabbed your hand. But this is the best part. So we make like a dramatic exit. We get up from the bar and walk away. But all we did was turn and then go to the other side of the bar and sit.
So we left the date, but we didn't leave the bar. We just changed sides of the bar where they were out of eyesight.
But then the bartender came over and I was like, she was on a date with that guy. He goes, oh yeah, that guy's a douchebag. I'm like, okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Validation from, not that we needed his validation.
And
but
then he texted
it's
me
always
in the
nice when the
morning.
bartender backs you up.
Oh, yeah, I know. And then he texted me in the morning. Oh, my God, I left my credit card at that bar. And then
Good.
I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh. And then I think I wrote him back like once. And then he wrote me something else, too. Be like, so
He
do you have
wrote
fun?
you and said that he didn't remember anything.
And then I just never wrote back.
Were
he
you
said-
going to say that or
he
did you
says-
not remember?
He said he didn't remember anything after the sushi restaurant.
After the sushi, yes.
So he doesn't remember us burning him and leaving
Oh.
him alone with his friend.
Okay.
Although his friend would have been sober enough to be like, "Hey, those girls bolted on us, just so you know."
His friend seemed really nice. Because
His
I
friend was
did.
nice.
I
His friend
did.
probably understood that he was drunk.
Yeah, because before I pulled you away, I did turn to his. Because I felt bad. Not that I should feel bad about a stranger, but I felt bad that guy took a fucking Uber from Tarzana just to meet up with his wasted friend.
I know.
But I did turn to his friend. I was like, look, I'm going to take her out. I go, you understand, right? Because I didn't want to be rude to his friend.
Yeah.
Anyway,
know.
not that it matters. I'll never see him again. I have a question, though, that you brought up that I've thought about before. Wait, are you done with your
Ooh.
story?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably think of 5 more pieces of it after the podcast, but
Or during, it's okay. But this has to do with your story, so you might think of more.
oh yeah.
But when you said it, it just reminded me that this is something I've thought about, and I think I've never asked you, because this happened to me on when I went out with the arcade dude.
Which one? The arcade
I'm whispering
guy.
like he would
Arcade guy.
actually be listening, but he wouldn't. So we set up to meet like 4 days before we actually did.
Yeah.
Do you want to switch?
Oh yeah. So I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. If we set, so we had it set 4 days before or so, like Sunday at 5.
Right.
And then when I met him, he had been drinking for a good part of the day.
Right.
Which, you know what? If he was invited to a barbecue, whatever, I get it. But do you take it as an insult if somebody shows up pretty drunk? Because I also had somewhere to go that Sunday afternoon we were meeting and people were drinking, but I was like, you know what? I'm only out 2 because I'm meeting up with so-and-so and
Yeah.
I don't want to show up,
Yeah.
sloppy or whatever.
Yeah.
So do you think, would you take it personally or as an insult if somebody's...
I mean,
Your dude, you guys didn't make the date until like 7 p.m. already, right? So
we made the date pretty late.
But if you make it ahead of time, do you think that's kind of like that's just you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I took it a little bit personally, but I shouldn't.
I mean, it could be a form of dealing with nerves. Just being like, oh, I'm going to have some drinks before that date. Because I feel like I for surely have been guilty of that in the past. However, now I'm at a point where I just want to start. I feel like, as a starting point, we should be on the same level. So I feel like, my date on Tuesday, I'd like to show up sober and I hope he shows up sober and then we drink together.
I mean, I think most people do.
I think so too.
But okay, if it happens once, that's one thing. But what if it happened twice in a row?
Well, then
you'd be like, yeah, it's a turnoff.
But maybe he's just drunk all the time.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So then you can't take it personally because that's just his lifestyle.
But it's a turnoff.
I mean, it is a turnoff.
Right?
I don't know. I feel like such a hypocrite because I love drinking.
I'm saying this. Meanwhile, there's guys out there who are like, Jen? One in particular whose name
I like to show up. Oh, yeah.
a very fine actor who might listen to our podcast.
He's so talented.
Murphy Bed. Sorry about those incidences.
I mean,
okay, I have another one.
All right, I like this.
I took notes during your story.
I love this.
When you said he called you babe, when you're around couples who constantly
call each other babe
and never use their own name, it's just babe, do this, babe.
I swear to God, I'm trying to write a joke
Does that
about
creep you out?
It's in here somewhere.
Oh,
it's
good.
Couples always, it's just those couples. They're always like, babe, hey, babe, babe. Or you hear them on the phone with each other, babe, babe, are you there? Okay, babe. All right. Babe, I gotta go. Babe. It's all babes all the time. Yeah.
It's also when it's not necessary to use any kind of name. Like if you just want to say, hey, can you get me a beer? But oh, babe, can you get me a beer, babe? And you're like, ugh.
I know. You could just say, hey, can you get me a beer?
Okay.
You don't have to babe 20 times.
I'm glad you agree because I don't know
Totally.
if it's just a childhood trauma I have because my parents, you can't even say it.
Do your parents hey babe each other?
It's worse.
Oh
Well,
my
they're
God.
divorced now, but they used to when I was a child. Instead of call each other by their names, they called each other lover.
Wow.
And my dad would come home from work and be like, hello, lover.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say dear.
That
Dear?
would be better.
Dear is fine, right? Dear.
It's one of those things where as a kid, you're just you don't think about it because it just doesn't make sense. And now
Yeah.
as an adult, I'm like, can you imagine calling somebody lover all the time?
I call my
lover.
I call my best friend Anna in Toronto lover.
As a joke, I'm sure.
I'm always like, well, is it? I don't know. I do love her. I'm like, lover. I've called her lover for years. I don't know why we've never been kinky together, but I call her lover. Even to this day, she's in my phone under lover.
Maybe you should be kinky together.
Watch out, Mike, aka Deep Strokes. I'm coming for your girl.
Deep strokes.
Yeah, that's another nickname I gave my friend. I have a lot of nicknames for people.
This beer keeps making me burp.
Deep Strokes, but it really came off of playing tennis. We were playing tennis one day, and we were just hitting the back of the court a lot. And I was like, whoa, bro, these are some real deep strokes. And then we just, ever since, I've been calling him Deep Strokes.
Oh my God, I feel like you should use tennis as a sex analogy more often. We were hitting the back of the net a lot.
Really, not everybody hits the back of the court. So, some of them hit the net. I don't know what that means.
Oh my God, I was going to ask you something else and it just went out of my brain.
Lover,
Dang
deep
it.
strokes, tennis.
Talk amongst yourselves. Oh my God, it was like right on the tip of my tongue. Dang it.
Remember, we had a plan that on our next podcast, we were going to make you a profile for some online dates.
Oh, did we do that?
Especially you. You don't even Jill off properly. You really need to start dating.
Yeah.
At least-
I'm really busy.
Really? I'm going to check your calendar.
I'm really busy trying to remember what the hell I was going to tell you 30 seconds ago.
I told you that's because now you're drinking the 8% beer.
I only took
The
one
swap
sip.
beers. That's all it takes. It's really powerful. I think we got to get you on the online dates just to see what happens. It'll be fun. I'm going on another one on Tuesday. But Tuesday's guy, we've been texting so much. I already feel like I know him. I feel like it won't be awkward because we've been texting for like a week.
Yeah, he seems cool.
I know I'm in. I feel like it's cool.
Yeah,
But then I was supposed to have a date with the other guy. Remember the one that kind of seems like he might be cheap? I made a date with him, remember, on Monday.
Yeah, but I mean, if you just have nothing else to do, you should go. But I feel like if you didn't sound one bit excited about it. But you could go just for the story.
I know. Well,
Mini
you know what?
golf.
Sometimes when they seem like they're going to be the best, they're not. And sometimes when they seem
Yeah.
like they're going to be like creepy or awful, they end up being normal.
You could fall in love with Monday and not even like Tuesday, even though Tuesday's
Yeah.
the one we're rooting for.
Yeah, exactly. But like one time I remember going on a date and this guy looked fucking crazy in his profile. Like he had this weird photo with like a giant knife, like he was going to slash a girl. And then I was like, this guy can't be for real. This has got to be a joke. And then, of course, I went on a date with him. This was in Toronto when I was in the heyday of my Tindering. Of course, I met him. And of course, he was normal. It was just a joke. He was like scare bitches. Like, I'm going to come murder you. Of course, he was not like that.
He's just
Like,
trying to weed out the weak.
right, exactly. Because when you're really creepy, you know, you hide it, right? You know, you Cosby it up and you're just like, I'm a perfect dad, right? That's what real creeps do. And so if you're going to act creepy or act like a psycho as your first impression, there's a good chance that's not really what you are.
That's true.
Like you're just being silly or you're, you know, you got
Yeah, like if he had a
sense of
profile of
humor.
hearts, that would be a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I just remember what I was going to ask you, but I don't know if I
Oh.
should say it on the podcast.
Do it. I don't care.
Your Instagram post today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm very prude in a lot of ways. And when I saw that, I was like, are they okay with that?
Oh, totally.
Okay. Can we just say it? Can I tell Paul?
Oh, wait. Oh, I put it on my Instagram. So I told my friends who have kids that we babysit for, yeah, they were like, oh my God, can you come over, just take the kids out of the
Take the
house
kids
for a
out.
few
Yeah.
hours so we could get a proper beach in. And then when I went to Big Bear, they were like, oh, well, you tell TJ Chambers that he's blocking a beach right now.
Oh, okay. So I figured they were cool, but Christina posted a picture of two
Did you not see it?
adorable looking kids.
Did you not see Julie's little comment?
No.
Oh, yeah. She was like, thanks for not tagging us so that my parents didn't see this one.
I know. Okay, I figured they must, but
Um,
I see Christina's Instagram. There's two adorable looking kids with her all smiling, and then her caption is took the kids out so their parents could give proper BJs to each other, or whatever. And I was just like,
Happy Father's Day.
these kids are at McDonald's. Why?
I know. I think Porter kind of heard me use the word beach, but he thought I said beach, so it was fine.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he doesn't know.
He's like, beach.
His parents say a lot worse.
They're so fun. I love them so much.
No, they're awesome.
And they got so many comments too. And then Ron Reed was like, oh, you should actually start like a babysitting, like, I forgot he had like a catchy little name for it. Like that would be the name of my babysitting business. Where I'm like, oh my God, we'll take your kids while you get your beach. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
pretty funny.
I feel like you can actually, you know what? Need 45 minutes with your wife? We got you covered. We'll take your kids to McDonald's and back. Just text us if it's running long.
The husband will be like, can you take him for 3 hours? And the wife would be like, how about 30 minutes? Let's just,
I know.
just 30 minutes.
Oh, they took the picture for me, so they knew what was happening.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
You just all look so happy and innocent.
I mean, we really are. The kids don't know what's happening.
Yeah, but okay, this is where I'm going to say it kind of creeped me out a little. But this happens a lot. It's not just that. Whenever somebody mentions somebody doing something sexually, then I'm visualizing it.
Right, especially when you know the people.
Yes! So now I'm like, Christina, why'd you do that to me? I babysit for these people too. Although the last time I babysat, when I was going to drive him to the airport, they suddenly disappeared and shut the door for a while. And I was like, oh, maybe they're doing something before he goes to the airport.
You know what? I feel like they're just a great couple that's high functioning.
No, healthy.
And they know how to keep their loving alive.
It's very healthy. It's very healthy.
I know.
I'm just like, so should we make some Pop-Tarts? Mommy and Daddy got a pack.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, I feel like that is actually a great business idea though. And it would keep your babysitting shifts so short. I mean, depending on the man, but right. Oh, right. It's like, here's a little window of time for you to enjoy some adult time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one got a lot of comments. That's the most I've ever been called a hero before.
Oh, I didn't see any comments. I'm gonna have to go back and read
There's
it.
a lot of comments on Facebook. There's some comments on Instagram too. But yeah, it's the first time in my life I've ever been considered a hero.
You are a hero.
Am I?
I like that you're a hero, like as if they could have never done it unless you were around. We
I
need
mean,
Christina.
I don't know what it's like to be married with children, but I imagine children would interfere with your sex life a lot. Like, what if you're like trying to do it and then like a kid walks in, or do you know what I mean?
I think it definitely depends. Yeah.
I feel like you see that in TV shows all the time too, where parents are trying to like get it on, and then the kid like walks in, like, "Mommy, I peed my bed," or whatever.
You can lock the door, but yeah, it would be a deterrent. Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I'm not having kids. That's it. That, and it's really hard to put on their shoes.
Your kid would go to school and be like, "I'm so tired." The teacher's like, "Why can't you sleep?" There's just this really loud vibrating sound all the time. I think there's a train behind our house.
I think there's a monster in Mommy's room. It's just like, and the monster's like zzz, every night.
My mom stays up all night sewing. That would be a good excuse. That you're sewing. You can use that when you have kids. Just kidding, you're not.
Oh my God. Props on having kids. That's it. I'm good. I'm good with it. I have other people's kids, and I got my nieces. That's good.
Yeah.
How about you? You want to have kids?
I want to adopt a kid.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you have a preference of country where you want your kid from?
No.
It's just a kid that is cool.
Well, I can't have kids anymore, but when I have money, I might. I don't know.
Yeah? I think you'd be a good mom.
I love kids.
I know you are so good with kids.
I don't mind that I didn't have them. Sometimes I think about it, but I don't really mind that much. But I might someday save a child.
I think that'd be beautiful. I think that'd be very good.
Although, what if he's an asshole?
That's what I'm scared of too. Like, what if you had a kid and your kid was a dick, and then you have to love them or whatever, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I think you'd have to get it at birth.
right.
I'm not going to adopt like a 6-year-old.
But if you adopted a 6-year-old, at least maybe you could like meet with them a couple times and really get a feel for them. What about you could foster a kid?
Yeah, but they already have so much baggage.
I'm
going to get hate mail.
Oh my God.
Why don't you save a 6-year-old?
Jet Murphy, why don't you love your non-existent children? I like how you can come up with hypotheticals. Like, right in your brain, you're like,
It's already gone wrong.
It's already gone wrong. Nothing has happened. Nothing's truly really happened. But we're already like, oh, we're already assholes, aren't we?
If I go on the dating app, I'm only going to meet people at residuals.
That's perfect. And it's funny because that's a pet peeve of mine when somebody picks a bar that's super close to their house. But that's only when it's like a guy doing it. Because I'm like, oh, you just want me to go back to your apartment and fuck you. And that's why you picked the bar that's closest to your house. Like, remember that guy who made me meet him at Muddle and Twist? Don't try to tell me that Muddle and Twist is a hot spot, okay?
Baseball cap?
Nobody. Yeah. I told you I saw him at Coffee Bean, right?
Yeah, and you
I
turned your
hid.
head.
Oh my God, I hid. I was like, can you please pass me my drink on this side of the bar? I can't walk over there. I couldn't walk to the service bar where you're supposed to get your drink. I was just like, ugh.
That's hilarious.
But yeah.
Muddle and Twist.
Nobody goes to Muddle. Like, I walked in and the place was like sterile and just like, it looked like it had been through a bar rescue, but nobody cared. Nobody wanted to be there. Do you know what I mean? I was like, nope. Don't try to convince me that this place is a hot spot. And then I took him to the Fat Dog and it was much better.
I mean, if you want to sleep with a guy, it's not like you wouldn't go if he lived 10 miles from the bar.
Exactly.
Like getting an Uber.
Exactly.
They don't need to pick a bar right by their house just to make it easier.
Exactly. And I feel like even with this date I'm going on Tuesday, he wants it to happen on neutral ground. Like he's like, I want it, because I think I suggested Foreman's Whiskey Tavern, one of my favorites. But he's like, oh, we should do it on neutral ground. So who knows where we'll end up. But our texts have been really good. Like we have a lot in common. I feel like it's going to be cool.
The pre-date texting is the best.
There's been a lot. We've been texting for a while now where it's just like, but here's the worst part. You know when you're texting a lot, but then you actually meet the guy and then the texting stops.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
When the texting
happens all the time.
Is that what we call this episode? When the texting stops, right? When the fun stops.
When the texting stops.
When the texting stops.
Story of my life.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
So we're calling it When the Texting Stops. Don't worry. When the texting stops, we always have each other.
Oh, that's the sweetest thing ever.
Right? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. A little rainbow just came out
It's a chillin' off.
of my heart.
The chillers. Right. You guys are excited for us, right?
Paul's excited.
Paul?
Paul, are you on dating websites? Have we
Did
asked
you get
you
a bad
this
shot
already?
of my arm over there? I feel like all I've been giving you is arm. This is a bad. Oh, yeah.
Paul, your mic isn't plugged in. We count on you.
Oh, my goodness.
You're our soundboard.
We did comedy with Paul last week in Santa Ana, and he was
That was
fabulous.
so fun.
That was a really fun show.
Thank you. It was the most random show ever, but it was super fun.
And I totally turned you onto my chicken.
Yeah, and then the guy hooked it up.
That chicken was good.
Yeah. See, little known fact: if you're running a comedy show, you get free hookups on chicken.
Oh,
so,
you got free chicken?
yeah.
I
it was
feel
good.
like they hooked mine up. Like I feel like it said it was only going to be 5 to 6 pieces, and then I got like 8 to 9.
Yeah, that place is dope. Shout out McFadden Public Market. Santa
Yeah,
Ana.
McFadden Public Market in Santa Ana. So delish.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, it was a dope show. What'd you say, Jen? Are you on dating apps?
Yeah, are you?
I was for a while. I was like on OkCupid and that stuff, but
Not anymore?
no, they're all trash.
Can we all just be on
See,
Hinge?
he said it's all trash, so why should
I do think that we just have to go out and meet people in real life.
If you want to lower your self-esteem, just see who you match with on those dating apps.
Oh,
And then you're just like, really? This is what I'm. All right.
I already have my family to do that. I've had
Oh.
two family members try and hook me up with dudes who I'm sure they were nice, but I mean, I was like, oh, that's what you think.
I think my parents think eventually I'm going to straighten out Rob. Like, my gay best friend, who's like also best friends with like my sister, my brother-in-law. They're like, are you and Rob dating? I'm like, no, Rob's gay.
Okay, now I thought about it, but now after what Paul said, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to see who I match up with.
No, I mean the only thing that's
No.
worse is when somebody says, "You know who you look like." That's the only thing that's worse.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like that. Do you know who you remind me of? I'm like, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to hear Kimmy Gibbler again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, what about Dave Williamson sending me a picture of this homeless woman on the side of the road? He goes, he goes, oh my God, I've seen this woman a few times and she reminds me of you.
Rude!
I sent you the picture.
Yes! That's so awful. Can we please find a fucking disgusting dead chicken and send him that picture and be like, hey, I saw this dead chicken on the road. I thought it looked like you.
Literally, I mean, she was thin and had blonde hair. I'll take the thinness as a compliment.
The thin is a compliment.
But other than that, I mean, she was like wrinkles and cracked out. I was like,
Oh my
Oh, that
God.
sucks. I would take a homeless dude if he was like a good-looking homeless dude. I'd be like, all right,
there's
cool.
some good-looking homeless dudes out there.
Everybody has a crush on the homeless dude in the parking lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him.
There's a parking lot here?
I know. Fuck. We've been Ubering this whole time. We didn't know.
That's so funny. No, there's a couple. There's a couple where you look at me like with a shower.
Yeah, with the shower. People probably look at me and say that.
I feel like that bug
With
keeps
a
going up my
shower.
nose. You know that little bug flying around here?
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, man. Actually, I've been doing Fryman Canyon a lot, and there's so many bugs right now. I feel like I've swallowed like 5 flies this week.
Protein.
Protein.
So you just went off of it because of the people that they were hooking you up with?
Yeah, I was like, you know what, this ain't worth it. I do better after comedy shows.
I was gonna say,
That's
doing
true.
comedy, you meet, especially men, meet a lot more girls
Yeah.
than we meet dudes. But
Yeah. It
So
ups
true.
ups your stock unless you bomb. Then you like.
Then
call it
we've
the back
lowered
door.
our stock.
Yeah. I didn't know it could get lower than this. That's what the guys when I bomb. Yeah.
Guys,
you were very
we're-
funny. Paul is very funny.
Paul's
thank you.
great. So funny. So talented.
Thank you.
I love that show because it's one of those things that reaffirms you. Because I mean, I've been doing it long enough that I knew that could be a fun show, but a lot of comics walk into a space like that and they're like, oh man, oh fuck, oh, you know what I mean? They get all pissed off if there's not enough people. But it's like any show can be really fun.
Yeah.
Like all those people were supportive, even if there was only 15 people there. It was fun.
It's so good. And I feel like sometimes I like to be lazy because I'm, old lady Magoo and I've been doing comedy for a long time. But whenever I do shows like that, I can have a moment on stage that just made it all worthwhile. And I had that at that show because when I started talking about this date, I explained to the crowd, I was like, I was on that app Hinge, right? You guys know Hinge. Like, well, it says dating app that connects you with like friends of your Facebook friends. I was like, oh my God, that's why I keep going out with alcoholics.
Yeah, that was a good line.
That was a good
Right?
line.
I was just like, oh, but I just had that epiphany in that moment, even just talking it out, just talking things out, right? On stage.
I think the most beneficial part for me of those kind of shows is you end up, at least for me, I end up just talking kind of more honestly with people instead of, you could be at a club with like 300 people, but you're doing your jokes and whatever. And then the smaller ones, you end up sort of like making eye contact and talking a little more like conversational.
Very true.
It makes you a better conversational comic.
Very true. And you,
Have you ever seen some comics that have been doing like 15, 20, and they'll go to a show like that, a smaller one, and still just bust out into like these huge act out, and they're like, oh, you can't adjust at all.
Oh, yeah. Or like a fear of,
They'll do their jokes from like 15 years ago and just like, you know what I mean? Like no adjustment. You're like, ooh.
I mean, I like a balance. I like to bring some greatest hits collection so the crowd can have faith in my work. But then I definitely need to slide in all the new bits too. Just be like, okay,
No, but
here
I
we
mean,
go.
if you want to do an older joke, whatever. But I'm saying like, you know how to adjust your tone to fit.
They do the act, the
Very-
whole act.
Your foot is
Very,
on my
very true.
microphone cord.
I think it could be my shoe.
Jesus.
I'm wearing heels.
Your
These-
big vagina is sucking up my microphone cord.
Why is it cool to have a big dick and not a big vagina? All right, can I
That-
just please ask that?
That was a callback to a
That
few
was a
episodes
callback.
ago. I'm not just saying she has a big vagina. She said it before.
Big vagina. It's the sequel to Big Fish. That movie made me cry.
Are you thinking of Blackfish?
No, Big Fish. Don't you remember that movie?
Ewan McGregor,
Oh, I thought you were talking about Blackfish, the one about like Shamu or the
Tillicum.
I like it when
Tillicum the whale.
I like it when we start talking about my vagina. You think of Shamu.
No, when you said big fish, I was thinking of Blackfish.
Wow, Shamu. Can you just change my name in your phone to Shamu? I'll take it. I don't care.
Okay. No.
I know.
That's awful. I'm gonna write down big fish. But you saw that, right?
Tell you who the texting's stopping for this week, Jen Murphy.
I didn't. I wasn't sure if that was the correct name of the movie, but then when you said it was sad, I was like, yeah, that was sad about those whales in captivity.
Oh my God.
What I really meant is that your vagina's in captivity.
Actually, kind of, yeah. He was in captivity.
Till Tuesday.
Till Tuesday. What do I do if I really like this guy on Tuesday? Do I do it on the first date? I've done it before.
No. No, you haven't.
Oh, better believe I have. Not in a long time. I haven't done it on a first date. in a long
Stick it
time.
to the wall?
No, but no, because we were friends for a week, and then we stuck it to the wall.
Yes.
And then the last guy I slept with was like a repeat offense, right? Because that was the guy I sleep with all the time in Maui. So like, who have I slept with on a first date? I don't even know. It's been years since I had a one night stand.
Well, you're due.
I'm out of here. I gotta go. I got something to do.
You better practice tonight.
We should rate the beers on how much fun we had on the podcast
Yeah, this
based
is,
on drinking it. So far, I feel like this beer is the best beer.
Yeah.
You get to see actual results of the one beer.
You almost flipped the. I still have a lot left too.
Like the table flip. That's good. That's what I learned from watching reality TV.
Oh, already?
Wow.
What? Oh my God, we just hit a record. I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm over here. See me?
Hi.
First, I've been trying to high five her for 5 seconds. First,
She's
she's
like,
staring
high
at Paul, then she stared at her own boobs.
It's like, uh-oh, Christina's a bubblehead.
Is there pot in this beer?
I know, right? Why do I feel high? This is for surely the best beer. Oh my God.
Oh my God, George Gonzalez is gonna be so happy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
We're
All
gonna
right.
we're gonna have to go up to Sacramento now.
I want to. I love Sacramento. We could go to Old Sac.
We'll be known as the One Beer Wonders up there.
It's really called Old Sac. I didn't make it up.
Stop talking about your vagina. That was hacky.
Old Sac.
Oh my God,
Sac.
can you cut that out?
No, Old Sac.
My hacky joke.
No, we can't. Well, Old Sac is something we could call Dave Williamson. That's for sending that picture to Jen Murphy.
This
My
is
Philadelphia
some magical
pup.
beer.
That's right. See, me and Jen have each other's backs.
Who else
right?
should we talk about?
No. Slam. Bam. Let's get out of here.
We got a birthday party to go to.
Yeah, let's get out of here before this podcast gets any better. We can't top this. This is.
Of course, I didn't tape it.
Oh my God, that's true. You didn't. Oh, oopsies. Oh well.
It's all right. We know.
This is exactly how I feel about doing stand-up. I get scared to tape my sets because I feel like once I tape it, oh, it's not going to be as good as it was if I didn't tape it. Because when you don't tape something, you're like, fuck, that was good. I should have taped it.
That's all right. I can still request.
All right. All right,
Nick.
guys.
Should we give a shout out to Nick?
Let's give a shout out to Nick at Comedy Pop
Shout
Out.
out to Nick Gant for never letting a week go by when we don't pay you.
You're so good. You're so good. Now that could get edited
Jen,
out.
Nick.
Nope.
Actually, he did. Actually, he did let one go by, and I couldn't. No, he shouldn't let one go by. I'm totally joking. But he was. I paid him, and I go, I'm having trouble. I need to send PayPal instead of Venmo. And so I sent it, and then he wrote me, he goes, actually, you owe for last week too. And I was like, wow, I can't believe it took him this long to tell me. Look, every company needs a CEO who's on top of things.
Exactly. And just so you know, now that you know that, maybe you want to support us and send us more beer, right? So the investment is.
Are you still talking to Nick, or did you go back to Old Sac?
I think I was talking to George this time.
All right.
All right. So you
Guys.
probably already know how to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all of the social medias. I'm at Walkin' Sauce.
If you need a babysitter, Christina's available.
Oh, yeah. Oh, take your kids out while you go down on your wife.
Oh.
Well, now I feel like it has to go the other way, right? I miss Mother's Day.
Oh, shit. Or you can email us at jillinoffpod@gmail.com.
I just got flooded with babysitting requests. Can you come over in 45 minutes? I'm a little.
Dan Lawrence needs a babysitter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we gotta go.
Okay. We hope you enjoyed this. It'll be deleted in a week. Okay.